Hi, I'm Stephen Colucci and we're here at Cookshop today and we're going to be making some classic Italian zeppole. Zeppoles are so incredibly easy to make because they're pretty much just some fried dough. It's real 1, 2, 3 in a mixer and then right into the fryer. The best way to serve zeppole is hot out of the fryer, tossed in a lot of powdered sugar, and usually a little bit of chocolate sauce and a nice espresso on the side. To get started, we're going to get a KitchenAid mixer with a whip attachment. And the first thing that we're going to put in here is our eggs. So we have 2 eggs. And the next thing that we're going to put into our bowl is some whole milk ricotta. And the ricotta is what really makes these really light and fluffy and really tender from all that dairy in there. So this is 1 cup of whole milk cow's ricotta. And we're going to start mixing this up. We really just want to break the ricotta down, and to kind of help that, we're going to throw 2 teaspoons of sugar in here as well. And we're just going to mix this for about a minute or so until the ricotta starts to break down and becomes a little bit smooth. So once the ricotta and the eggs are broken down a little bit and kind of homogeneous, we're going to throw a pinch of salt into here. And we're also going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're just going to mix this for 1 second to get those ingredients in there. Alright, super easy. And the last things we're going to add are 2 teaspoons of baking powder. It's going to help us get a nice, real big puff on those zeppole so they're really light and fluffy. My mom used to always call them belly bombers growing up, so we want them to be really nice and airy. And we're going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. So one of the reasons we're going to add such a small amount of sugar is really just to kind of help break down the ricotta, break down those eggs, and these zeppole are going to get covered in powdered sugar, so we really don't need too much sugar in there to make it sweet. So very slowly, just so that we don't get flour in the face, we're just going to put this on low and just let this incorporate. And we really just want to mix this until it comes together. We really don't want to overwork it. We want the zeppole to be really nice and tender. We don't want them to be tough at all. So that's it. There you have it. We're just going to give this a good scrape with a spatula. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Everything's incorporated in there, real easy. And we are ready to fry. With a normal donut, you're probably going to need a little bit of time to relax. If it's got yeast in it, it's got to raise a little bit and kind of sit out. It requires a lot of table space. We're going to go right from the bowl right to the fryer with these zeppole. How easy is that? So I have a fryer that's heated to 350 degrees. If you don't have a deep fryer, that's absolutely fine. You could do it the way my mom used to do it, just a hot of hot oil. If you don't have a thermometer, usually just a little bit of water on the fingertips, flick over the oil, and if it makes a sizzle, you usually know that you're at a good temperature to fry. What we have in here is vegetable oil. These zeppole are a drop donut, so we're literally going to take a couple teaspoons and drop it right into the fryer, carefully of course. So a nice rounded teaspoon of zeppole batter on here, and carefully drop it into the oil. You could also use an ice cream scoop if that's something you wanted to do. You'll notice that the zeppole dough puffs up quite a bit, so I think a nice teaspoon of batter is usually enough to do the trick. If you want it to go really big, you can kind of adjust it with a tablespoon. I find that a nice 1 ounce ice cream scoop is perfect. And you'll notice that they kind of float right up to the top. I usually give them a little shimmy just to make sure that nothing is stuck to the bottom of the fryer. And these are going to take probably around 3 to 4 minutes. As they fry, they kind of roll on themselves, so you don't really have to pay too much attention about them burning on one side. They usually kind of just rotate all on their own. We're going to fry these for about 3 to 4 minutes. It's really important that they kind of fry all the way through. We don't want any ricotta in the center that's really moist. Checking for doneness, we want to make sure that the zeppole is nice and golden brown on all sides of it, that there's not any part of it that has a whiteness to it or kind of a cakey look to it. And I find that the best way to test one out is to give it a go with your mouth. I find it best just to make 1 extra one just to make sure that they're cooked all the way through. When the zeppole kind of burst open a little bit, it's a pretty good indication that they're almost fried all the way through and ready to come out. Alright, so once the zeppole are fried all the way through, it's nice to have a little pot or a bowl with some paper towels just to kind of blot off some of that extra grease. So very carefully shake off a little bit of that extra hot oil, and again carefully pour them right onto some prepared paper towel. And I just give them a little shake around there just to get some of that extra oil off. So to finish the zeppole, I've got my pan of zeppole that have had a little bit of the grease blotted off, and we've got a bowl of powdered sugar over here. Again, we're going to carefully toss them in the powdered sugar to avoid getting a face full of sugar. This is absolutely not the place to be shy with a little bit of sugar. Again, we put such a small amount in the batter, so just carefully roll them around. We want to make sure there's a nice coating on here. Do not be afraid of a little bit of powdered sugar. And there we go, these are ready to serve. So these zeppole are so light and fluffy, it kind of gives us a lot of opportunity to get funky with the plate up on it. I like to serve it a little Italian, so a little bit of chocolate, some Luxardo cherries, and some Sicilian pistachios. Thanks for watching. These are zeppole at Cook Shop.